Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that probably hits home for a lot of you, especially if you're in college or you've been there. We're talking about the worst time in college to choose a major. And trust me, for me, that time felt like an eternity. Let me tell you about Alex. Alex wasn't some slacker, or someone who didn't care about their future. Quite the opposite, in fact. Alex was a bright-eyed freshman, bursting with optimism, ready to conquer the world, or at least, conquer their first year of college. They arrived on campus with a vague idea, maybe something in the sciences, or perhaps business, because, that's practical. Freshman year was a blur of new experiences. Alex took an intro to biology class, an economics elective, a philosophy course, and even dabbled in creative writing. It was fun, exciting, and confusing. Every new subject offered a glimpse into a potential future, but none of them screamed, "This is it. This is your calling." Their friends, meanwhile, seemed to be gliding through. Sarah was pre-med, already volunteering at the local hospital. Mark was coding away, building apps in his dorm room. They had direction. Alex had a very diverse collection of textbooks. Then came sophomore year. The infamous sophomore slump, magnified by a looming deadline, major declaration day. It felt like the entire university was whispering, "What's your major? What's your major?" Every advisor meeting, every casual conversation with upperclassmen, every family phone call culminated in that one dreaded question. Alex would stammer, "Oh, I'm still exploring, keeping my options open." But inside, a frantic panic was setting in. Exploring had quickly become floundering. The pressure wasn't just external. Alex was putting immense pressure on themselves. This wasn't just about picking a few classes. This was about defining their identity, shaping their career path, and, in their mind, sealing their fate for the next 40 years. What if they picked the wrong thing? What if they invested time and money into a field they hated? The fear of regret was paralyzing. They tried everything. They signed up for a pre-law seminar, thinking maybe their love for arguing with their siblings could be Monetized. It was incredibly dull. They joined the campus newspaper, considering journalism, but found themselves more interested in the coffee machine than crafting headlines. They even considered art history, purely because they liked visiting museums, only to realize that memorizing Renaissance periods wasn't quite their passion. The absolute worst time hit during the spring semester of sophomore year. Major declaration day was weeks away, and Alex still had no clue. They were taking a mandatory statistics course, a subject they genuinely struggled with, alongside an elective in something vaguely related to environmental policy, which they thought might be interesting. One Tuesday evening, after bombing a stats quiz and then sitting through a particularly dry lecture on carbon credits, Alex went back to their dorm. They looked at their whiteboard, covered in scribbled pros and cons lists for every conceivable major. Biology, pros, science, cons, frogs. Business, pros, money, cons, spreadsheets. English, pros, books, cons, unemployment. It was a mess. Tears welled up. It wasn't just about the major anymore, it was about feeling like a failure. Everyone else seemed to have found their niche, their tribe, their direction. Alex felt completely adrift in a sea of confident, purpose-driven students. They seriously considered taking a gap year, or even dropping out. What was the point of racking up debt if they didn't even know what they were doing? Then, something shifted. It wasn't a grand epiphany or a sudden beam of light. It was a quiet realization that crept in after a long, honest conversation with their resident advisor, Maya. Maya, a senior, had been through something similar. "Alex," Maya had said gently, "your major isn't your entire life. It's a starting point. And honestly, most people don't end up in careers directly tied to their major anyway. It's more about developing skills, critical thinking, problem solving, communication." She then asked Alex, not what they wanted to be, but what they enjoyed doing, even outside of classes. What kind of problems did they like to think about? What made them curious? That conversation sparked something. Alex realized that while they didn't love formal environmental policy classes, they were deeply passionate about sustainability and making a real-world impact. They enjoyed understanding how things worked, but also how to communicate complex ideas to others. It wasn't a single major. It was a combination. Alex went back to their advisor with a new plan. They decided on an interdisciplinary major in environmental studies, which allowed them to take courses in science, policy, and even some communication. But more importantly, they decided to minor in psychology, driven by their fascination with human behavior and motivation, a passion that had secretly been brewing since their philosophy class freshman year. It wasn't the perfect, straight-line path they had initially envisioned. It was a zigzag, a struggle, and undeniably the worst time for making such a big decision. But through that struggle, Alex learned invaluable lessons. It's okay not to know. Most people don't have it all figured out at 19. Your major isn't your destiny. It's a foundation, and you can build so much more on top of it. Listen to yourself, not just external pressures. What truly excites you, even if it's not a traditional path? Embrace the interdisciplinary. Life isn't neatly divided into academic departments. The journey is the lesson. The process of figuring it out, the self-reflection, and even the moments of panic, teach you more than any textbook ever could. So, if you're out there, feeling the intense pressure of choosing a major, or feeling like you've picked the wrong one, remember Alex's story. It's not a race, and there's no single right answer. Your path is unique, and sometimes, the worst times lead to the most profound discoveries. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and let me know in the comments below, what was your major declaration story? Did you feel that pressure? And what advice would you give to someone struggling with this decision right now? See you next time.